to the first in the Liftoff series. This is what we're calling episode 1. This is intended for newer customers, people who are considering using QR coding or OneQR as a specific company to include in their marketing strategy. On the call today, myself, Jared Crowley, I'm Director of Sales for OneQR. Joining me is Cathy Inman, who is our Executive VP out of Texas. And if you have any questions, Q&A at the end, feel free to drop anything into chat. We'll try and be as interactive as we go. But as far as a time check, we'll try and keep the presentation portion to about 20 minutes plus Q&A at the end. As far as an agenda goes, we're going to run through the 5 points that we recommend for implementing QR coding as part of your marketing strategy, and then the Q&A session at the end that I promised. But let's jump right in. So really, really important when you look at your marketing strategy. One of the top 3 things listed in why small businesses and medium-sized businesses fail is an ineffective marketing strategy, always one of the top 3. And conversely, those companies that turn into larger companies or successful companies from that size, one of the top 3 reasons they attribute success to is effective marketing. So really, really important that you have a marketing strategy, that you're spending time thinking about that, whether you're independent, part of a team, whatever. So in this planning stage, really important to specify desired outcome. I'm a big proponent of SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Take some time offline if you're not familiar with that. Really beneficial way to kind of think of how you set your targets and goals, but spelling out exactly what you're trying to accomplish. QR coding is a bridge from the physical world to a digital resource, and it's just meant to reduce friction and increase engagement. Second point, identifying your target audience. So if this is your existing customer base, new potential customers, whoever you want to reach, really thinking about how and where to meet them, how to reduce friction and make it easy for them to find you or whatever resource it is that you are trying to promote. And then knowing your barriers and resources to overcome. So spending a lot of time looking at not only what you're doing right, but where you've got room to grow, barriers, friction that are potentially in that process of your operations and engaging your customer base, and really looking at, okay, how do I simplify that? How do I get people there? How do I make it easier to do business? And lastly, put it in writing. So if this is for yourself or for your team, recording that, specifying exactly what it is you're trying to overcome, this helps you keep that front of mind as you go through not only this design process, but your day-to-day business operations as you kind of get in the thick of it. Jumping into the second part, this is a quick review of those tools. So once you've got an idea of what it is you're trying to overcome and the exact results you're hoping to get, these are a couple of the features that our customers and clients are using to kind of bridge those gaps. Really understanding what you've got in the toolbox is terribly important to overcoming those, right? So first of all, design options, adhering to your brand specifics and being able to make something that's going to pop out, really important in getting effective QR code integration. Sorry, clicked the wrong side there. Another one-click contact share, just getting people to save your contact information. We know that a lot of business cards end up in the trash or going through the laundry. Getting into a customer's contact list saved on their phone so they can find you when they need you, terribly important. And with a QR code, you can scan and it immediately downloads that contact information directly into the person's phone. We also have the ability to turn on lead capture, meaning when somebody clicks that, you can ask for their information back, and that comes to you in the form of an email. Our simple link and info pages, these are miniature versions of a website where if you've got a lot of places to go from when a customer gets in contact with you, or to place an order, or do an inquiry for a showing, something to that effect. This is a real quick and easy way to put it together a mini page that's optimized for mobile and get people to the resources you want in as few clicks as possible. A couple other features really beneficial to know. You can automate that destination, what the QR code does by time and day. So whether this is an open house showing or a trade show, a event planner, something to that effect, you can actually choose what that scan does and set that automatically to do something different based on when and where that is scanned. A lot of people know that QR codes are essentially a redirect or an URL link, but a lot of people don't know you can have that scan open up the phone, email, or text program to shorten the process of customers opening their browser, typing out your phone number or email address. They might fat finger something and screw something up, or that might be just difficult enough where it deters them from doing it. You can do that one step to initiate a call, email, or text directly to you. And then the analytics portion of things. This is really where you get to deep dive the efficacy of your marketing strategy. We'll talk a little bit more in later slides, and hopefully you'll get to check that out on your own, try it out, and see how that works. So once we've identified what it is we're trying to achieve and what tools we have to achieve it, obviously set that in motion, right? So coming up with design options, whether you're a expert graphic designer, artist, expert in marketing, or just starting out, this is really something important to think of. I'm sure you've all seen packaging or signage that just has a random black and white QR code and nothing more. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them that stand out. They match the brand specifics. They match the colors. They make it really obvious and eye-catching, and you know what you're getting when you scan that. So the form and function is thinking about how and where that's going to be used and designing that to be effective in that type of application. So the right tool for the job, if you've got a big glossy poster and that's the center of attention and your contact information is kind of a footnote, maybe that doesn't need to be huge and catchy, but if it's a billboard on the side of the road where you've got 10 or 15 seconds as somebody sits at a stoplight or drives by to entice them to make that scan, you're going to design that a little bit differently, maybe make it a little bit bigger. Another component, sometimes less is more. And if you've got a lot of resources you're trying to direct people to, you may not want 4 or 6 or 8 QR codes on the same piece of collateral. So what we spoke about a couple slides ago, where you can put together a simple page as kind of a landing page and then take people to those multiple assets from there. That's a good consideration if you've got a lot of different ways people can kind of choose their own adventure to how they get in touch with you. And then lastly, this is a huge one code for each asset. Don't be stingy with your QR codes, meaning if you're putting something on a flyer and an email and a signature line of your email on a sticker or button or something along those lines, create a different QR code for each one, so that, again, using those analytics, you can determine which of those assets is getting you the most traction and do more of that. Or if it turns out to be one of those campaigns that's not as effective, you can do less of that as well. Next one, implementation. So we've got the design. We know what we're trying to do. We've got it figured out where we're going to take people to meet those goals or reduce that friction. And implementation. So not only can you use these QR codes to get people to where you're trying to lead them, but also utilize short codes, custom URLs. So you may have seen early on oneqr.com/Jared or /signup. Those little short custom codes are better suited for texts and emails where someone may or may not be able to scan a QR code from a text message or something that was sent. In addition to that, with us, you can create your own custom short codes, whatever comes after the slash. So oneqr.com/yourbusiness makes it really simple for people to remember, gives them a simpler way to click directly from text or one of those other plain text assets. Frames and callouts. So if you can see on some of these examples here, Start here, or excuse me, scan here for property info on this one. This is a contact me to set up a consultation on this person's vehicle. It spells out what is actually going to happen when people scan that code. The frames that are embedded in the QR code or any add-ons that you put to your graphics, let people know what's going to happen when they scan that. You've seen those QR codes that are just unlabeled on something. People aren't generally going to scan those with as high a success. They don't know what they're doing, or they don't know what to expect. So, for example, if you want to generate a call or a text, they may be expecting a website when they scan it, and then all of a sudden their text messaging application opened. That may throw them off and may turn them away. Next one, entice a scan. Whatever promotions, whatever the things that get customers in your door or start conversations. A free cookie, for example, here. Big portion to getting people across that bridge from a physical interaction to a scan. The more enticing that can be, obviously your click-through rate is going to improve. Size and shape considerations, I mentioned before, if you're putting something on a billboard next to a busy road, it should probably be bigger than if it's on a business card or a poster flyer. Take that into consideration, how far away people are going to need to be when they scan that QR code or read that URL, and make sure that it's large enough to be simple without getting out of that car, or to be able to scan from that poster that they may be 20 or 30 or 40 feet away from. And then leveraging technologies for results. That bridge to conversions, there's tons of technologies out there to help simplify people placing an order with you or getting some time on your schedule. Utilize those technologies to bridge to that, so your customers don't have to type out really long URLs or go through multiple steps. You can take them directly to their intended endpoint with one scan. All right, on to the last of the steps, and this is what we call our systems check. All of those things I mentioned, you better test them out. Unfortunately, we hear of a couple of instances here and there of really effective strategies put in place, really cool designs, but one little oversight, they didn't scan it and test it, paid a lot of money to put something on a postcard or a flyer, and then it just didn't work for some reason. They mistyped something. They didn't choose a high enough resolution for the QR code to scan. So test everything more than you think you need to, and just make sure it's doing exactly what you expect. Second one, the app notifications, a huge benefit to OneQR over some of the other QR code programs out there is within our application for Android and Apple. As soon as a scan happens, you can get a real-time notification. And that can be extremely helpful for in-person or timely engagements for that. If you're using that for an open house sign, if you are at a trade show and you get a ping notification that somebody scanned, send me more information, you may want to engage a conversation with those people. Again, helping you be more timely to convert those scans to business. Analytics, mentioned that before. Again, our analytics tool gives you a lot of ways to see where people scanned, you heat maps. So again, you can determine physical location wherever that scan took place and determine how effective something was or wasn't and adjust accordingly. Track that progress. I told you at the beginning, document everything, where you're starting from, what you're hoping to achieve, and this will help you determine exactly how close you're getting and how quickly you're getting to meeting those goals. And then lastly, adjust. I know it can be extremely difficult when you spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on a campaign to print something or create a sign or have merchandising made. If it's not working, you have to make an adjustment. So making those changes, trying to change only one or two things at a time to make sure you can identify which variables are getting you the results that you want, that's going to help you come up with a very effective marketing campaign. So those are the 5 steps we recommend for any of our new or considering QR code customers. At this point, feel free to drop your questions into chat and we'll answer whatever we can today. Also, for those of you who have registered, we will send a follow-up email with a rundown of what we went over today and give you a couple points of contact where you can get in touch with us if you think of a question later. Other than that, feel free to scan the QR code on your screen or visit that custom URL on the bottom right. Currently, we're offering a promotion that's a huge deal, not 7 or 14 or 30-day trial. We're giving people 45 days to try out our OneQR product with a full set of features. That's the longest in the industry, but we're so confident that you'll absolutely love what we offer you and how these tools can increase that click-through rate by 300 to 500%, that we're willing to cover the first month and a half for you. Absolutely free, no obligation. You can cancel it at any time. So thank you for your time and joining us today. We'll jump into the Q&A session. Feel free to drop those questions in chat again, and we'll talk to you soon.